Good evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are watching. Welcome here to the Sports Talk Network, specifically here talking Packers with Steve as we go over what was Week 5, heading into what is Week 6. And obviously, as I do every single week here, or two, welcome our co-host the most here, AJ, coming in from Florida, sunny Florida, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's cooling down a little bit, but it's still nice.
Still shorts weather, but
Mm-hmm.
anyways, I'm in Florida, and we'll go over what was Week 5, what is Week 6, and everything in between. Packers having a bye week, so we don't have
Thank
a game.
God.
So, what to do. But beyond that, they have a lot to do, don't they, AJ? They have a lot of stuff they need to fix. I think it's unfortunate, how the game with the Raiders went. Right, let's just get into that before we go into all the other games. But
yeah,
even with the interceptions and miscues, all that, we had a drive chance. We had a chance to drive, go down the field, get a winning touchdown, get the win, and it just ended with an interception. What were your thoughts on the play call for that final play, the play itself, and overall what you think the Packers need to fix over the bye week?
It wasn't so much the play. It was kind of broken pressure, and then Jordan gets out of the pocket, tries to make a play, and just throws it up there. It was a little short. It was the right play for sure. I mean, it looked like he had a little open field ahead if he wanted to take off and run, but throwing it up to your best option at receiver, works out. So most of the time, it's a smart play. You just underthrew it a little bit, had a rough night, and that's just how things went all night Monday. So, the play wasn't like it was probably designed for that, but the game itself and the plays that were designed and the the game plan that we had coming in was awful. And usually I at least defend Matt LaFleur, never on Joe Barry's side, but it was the complete opposite way this time. Joe Barry was the one that kept us in the game, and Matt was the one that was killing us Monday. So there's a lot of things that got changed on offense. Still, there's things got to change on defense. We got injuries, but the bye week is needed. It's not a better time for a bye week than right now. So put that one behind us.
Exactly. I mean, we have the bye week, then we get to go to Denver, so we have another road game. We say AFC much our AFC opponent, but as we go here quickly through what was pretty much a week ago, last Thursday, the Bears over the Commanders, 40-20. Bears getting their first win, looking impressive.
Yeah,
that's good for them.
It was that type of week for us.
I know, unfortunately. And then you had the Jaguars, just being lucky in London, getting the win over Buffalo, 25-20. Saints over the Patriots, 34-0. There on that one, that was something surprising for sure. The Colts with Minshew Mania, and Gardner Minshew is going to be starting for a couple weeks here, but they get the win there, 23-16 over Tennessee. Steelers get a surprising win over Baltimore at home, 17-10. Lions over the Panthers, 42-24. Falcons survive against Houston, 21-19. Dolphins steamroll the Giants, 31-16. Bengals over the Cardinals, 34-20. The Eagles over the Rams, 23-14, getting another win on the road, staying undefeated. The Jets get their big win against Denver, 31-21 on the road. Chiefs survive the Vikings, 27-20. 49ers stomp the Cowboys, 42-10, looking unstoppable themselves.
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, as we were talking about, the Raiders over the Packers, 17-13 there for Monday. So this week, heading into Week 6, we got the Thursday night game tomorrow night with Denver and Kansas City. Not too much really to say here. You got Denver, a team that gave up 50 points to Miami once. Stay close with the Jets. They looked okay at times, but here against the Chiefs, even though it is a divisional game, still don't see them getting the win. So for me, I've got the Chiefs all night, all day for this one. And what say you?
Pretty simple here. Yeah, it's going to be the Chiefs. I mean, Patrick Mahomes has completely owned this team since he's been in Kansas City, and this is not going to be any different tomorrow. So, Kansas City by a landslide.
And moving forward for Sunday, we got Baltimore against Tennessee in Tennessee for the Titans home game. So what say you happening here in this battle?
That was a weird loss for Baltimore, right? There was a lot going on, especially towards the end of the game. The Lamar pick. I'm going with Baltimore. I think they're going to get back on track. I've liked the identity of who they've been for most of the season. They've had a couple weird losses, the Colts and then that Pittsburgh loss. But I think they're going to get back on track. I'm going Baltimore.
Yeah, same here. Going Baltimore, get the win on the road, 17-13, just them getting the win there. We got the Panthers, Dolphins. Panthers still trying to get a win. Unfortunately, I don't see that happening. Someone will blow it again from Miami.
Yeah.
So I got the Dolphins getting a win like 42-10. What say you if you think the Panthers have a chance to have a chance?
Not at all. Not at all. This Panthers team's looked rough, and it's only going to get worse for Bryce and that team. They got a long season ahead of them. This Dolphins team, their offense kind of struggled a little bit the first half. It was kind of weird. I thought they were going to keep pulling off and eventually just keep piling up, but it didn't go that way. Tua had a couple bad interceptions, but this week at home against Carolina, they're bad. They're really bad. So it's going to be Dolphins the whole game.
Moving right along, we got the Saints and the Texans. Surprisingly, going to be a close matchup. I see a lot of CJ Stroud. I think the Texans are an improving team. Unfortunately, they weren't able to hold on and get the win there, even though they got a late game touchdown. But Houston is at home. Saints obviously looking as good as they did against New England, but New England, unfortunately, this season at least.
Yeah.
So what say you? How do you see this game going in Houston?
I think it's going to be really close and somewhat low scoring. The Saints defense is pretty good. They'll have a good hold on CJ and that offense, but I actually like the Texans. I think they're going to bounce back. That loss was solely on their defense. CJ played another great game, I thought. Got him down the field, scored with a minute left, and then you let Desmond Ridder get all the way down the field, score, and that was bad. But I think the Texans get back on the right track this week, and they take down Derek Carr and that really good defense they got.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Going with the Texans, getting a close win, 17-13 type of score. Though I was impressed by the Saints and what they did defensively against New England and a team that's unraveling there in New England. But Houston, like I said, they're on the up and up. I think they're going places. They might not make the playoff. I think that they'll show signs of being a playoff contender next season, signs of greatness in a way, signs of something good for the fan base, for the Texans, So as we both have the Texans winning here. Moving forward, we have the Commanders going to Atlanta to face the Falcons. So Commanders, Falcons, I'll go first here. I'm going to go with the Commanders to get a win on the road. I don't really trust the Falcons defense too much. Yeah, Washington having its own issues, but I just think their defense matching up the Atlanta offense, even with that rookie running back, going to be too much. So I'm going to go Commanders, 23-20 win over Atlanta. What say you?
I'm going Falcons. Falcons have been too good at home this year to pick against them, honestly, up to this point. And whatever the Commanders were doing Thursday was awful. And I'm definitely not going to be picking the Commanders after I saw them let Justin Fields do that, DJ Moore do that. That was awful to watch, especially and confusing. But Desmond Ridder's never lost a home game in his career, so I'm riding the Falcons this week.
Understood. And moving forward, we got the Colts and the Jaguars. Like I said, Gardner Minshew going to be starting for Indianapolis against Jacksonville. It's going to be in Jacksonville. So what say you? How do you think things are going to go down in this divisional battle?
I wouldn't be surprised if for whatever reason the Colts kept this close, but I'm going Jaguars. That's this past week's kind of what I thought the Jaguars would be most this year. They looked really good. I thought their defense, Trevor Lawrence had a couple of his turnovers, but other than that, I thought they played a great game against Buffalo. Buffalo lost a lot of guys, but I definitely like Jacksonville this week at home against the Colts, no doubt.
Same here, Jaguars over Colts, 27-13 type of score, getting a win, playing out there. Next up, we got Seattle against Cincinnati. Seahawks versus Bengals. I got Cincinnati getting the win at home. They've been up and down this season, but I see them being able to hold steady here against Seattle. 27-23 maybe the score being. But I got Cincinnati. What say you?
Yeah, I agree. I'm going Cincinnati. What they showed this past week is really their identity and what they're going to be slowly become more and more in each week. Joe looked more like himself, could throw the ball, could move a little bit. Jamar, he's always effing open, and he was. I expect the same thing this week against Seattle's defense. I like Cincinnati at home this week.
Moving right along here, we got an NFC North battle. The Minnesota Vikings facing off against the Chicago Bears in Chicago, so our rivals facing off against each other. Both teams not having the seasons their fan bases thought heading into the season, right? So, especially Minnesota, right? So, interesting matchup here with the bottom feeders of the division, though we're not that far away from it. I'm gonna go with the Vikings to get the win on the road. I just think they should be that much better. I know there have been the talks in regards with Justin Jefferson going on IR and not being available for the next couple of weeks, and the deadline coming and approaching, that the Jets should make a phone call to Minnesota about their quarterback. So I don't think that trade will happen, but who knows? But for me, I got the Vikings winning 23-20. What say you in Chicago, Illinois?
I know the Vikings' record isn't great, but I'm going with the Bears to upset the Vikings this week. I am. I don't know what without Justin Jefferson, that offense relies way too much on them. I don't know what their identity is going to be without them. Chicago's got a lot to build on going back home this week after last week, and I think the fans will be excited for that. And I'm sadly going to pick the Bears this week.
Me too. All right, moving forward, we got hey, it is what it is, right? But next we got 49ers and the Browns in Cleveland. Could it be a trap game? I don't think so. I got the 49ers over Cleveland on the road. What say you there in Cleveland?
Yeah, same. I don't really know who's playing quarterback yet for the Browns this week. It still looks like it's a little questionable for Deshaun, but either way, I don't think they have much of a chance against this juggernaut. I don't think anybody really has much of a chance right now. So until I see otherwise, I'm going to be picking the 49ers a lot. So 49ers.
And moving right along, this is an intriguing matchup. This almost was my game of the week for opposite reasons, but it was a contender. We got the Patriots and the Raiders in a battle in Vegas. I'll go first here. Patriots just seem like they're in shambles. They should be the better team, but I don't think they are. And I'm gonna go with the Raiders getting like a 26-20 win. But what say you happening there in Vegas?
Yeah, the Patriots are a mess. They're one of the bigger messes, honestly, in the league right now. I'm going the Raiders. I think this is going to be ugly just because it's these two teams. I mean, not much excitement looking at this game for me personally, but I'm going the Raiders. I just think the Patriots are going down the wrong path, and it's just going to get worse, especially with their quarterback play. So I'm going Raiders.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. But moving forward, we got the game of the week for the NFL, the game that was flexed, an early season flex, with the Lions and Buccaneers. Buccaneers coming off a bye week, the first rotation of bye weeks. And that is, for me, my game of the week with the Lions and Buccaneers. So for me, who I have winning in the game is the home team, the team coming off the bye week. I got Tampa Bay, but it'll be a close game. Could be a shootout. Who knows? Both offices have every capability, and that's with Baker Mayfield here with Tampa Bay than with Tom Brady. So even still, with most of the NFL thinking Tampa Bay was going to go down the drain just as much as people thought about Green Bay after Rodgers left. That wasn't really the case somewhat anyway for either team, but more so for Tampa Bay. So I'm going with Tampa Bay. What say you there in that big matchup in Tampa? There in Tampa.
Yeah, I'm going the same actually. I'm going Tampa. I don't know if it really depends on the availability of Amon-Ra because the Bucks, they stopped the run game, and if the Lions can't get that run game going, their play action's not going to be as well. And Jared Goff splits between home and away. He usually doesn't play too well on the road. Bucks got a good defense. The Bucks have been pretty good on offense. I think this is somewhat of a low-scoring game. I like the Bucks close though, and I think they're going to make somewhat of a statement here. We don't really. I don't trust the Lions just yet, just because of the Lions. It's so early, but I'm going the Bucks this week.
Moving right along, we got Arizona facing off against the Rams. Arizona being their own mess and now being out with their running back for a couple of weeks themselves. I'm going with the Rams and that phenomenon at wide receiver there for LA, 27-13 type of win. What say you here in this another divisional battle?
Yeah, I'm going the Rams as well. The Cardinals, they fight. They fight for a little bit, and sometimes they stick around, sometimes they don't. I think this Rams team is going to get going a little bit with Cutback, Cup, Puka. They're playing pretty well, honestly, and I think they're going to be able to compete in that second spot in the division, right behind the 49ers. And I definitely think it starts this week, and they beat the Cardinals.
We got the Eagles facing off against the Jets. Man, the Jets stayed close with the Chiefs, but the Eagles being a different story. I'm going to go first and go with Philadelphia to get the win here, like a 42-10 kind of beatdown, unfortunately. Another Jets offensive lineman went out. Now he's off for the season, pretty much. Or IR, but probably off for the season. So I got Philadelphia and a big win there. So what say you have happening in the MetLife?
Yeah, there's not going to be much hope here for the Jets. I'm going to Eagles. The Jets just won't be able to score points. Philadelphia's defense, honestly, has not played well, especially their secondary. But unless Zach Wilson can somewhat copy and paste his performance from when he played the Chiefs, maybe they would have a chance. But I don't expect it happening, especially against the Eagles. I'm going Philadelphia.
And then the other New York team up against the big boy being the Bills. We got the Giants and the Bills facing off on Sunday Night Football in Buffalo. Simply put, Bills probably going to get a win, big win, 35-10, something like that. It's unfortunate. I had big thoughts and plans in regards to idea what I thought the Giants were going to be. I had them in a Super Bowl prediction with the Jets, as we all know from my preview show, but the season hasn't really gone that way either so far. And I see Buffalo getting the win here. What say you there in Buffalo to happen there?
Yeah, this is going to be a blowout. The Giants, to me, is the biggest train wreck in the entire league, just because they pay Daniel Jones, and there's nothing you can really do with them. Their defense sucks. I mean, their offensive line sucks. Their weapons aren't good. It'll be a long season for the Giants, and it's just going to continue with them getting destroyed again in another blowout loss this Sunday night in Buffalo. Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs are going to have a huge night, and this game will never be close.
Unfortunately, no. And then we have Monday Night Football. We have Dallas and LA Chargers. I'll let you go first here. How do you see this game going for LA?
Yeah. To me, this would be my game of the week. I think this will actually be one of the best primetime games of the whole year, since all the primetime games have been awful, basically. But I expect a lot of points. I think Dallas's offense gets back on track a little bit. Chargers defense isn't great. I think Dak plays like he should. They get Pollard involved. They get CeeDee Lamb involved. That defense plays a little better, but Chargers offense is really good. I expect this to be a pretty good game, high scoring, like 30s, high 20s. I'm going with the Chargers. I like the Chargers a lot this year, and I just think Dallas is going down a bad path. Their wins have only been against awful teams, and when they've lost, they've played somebody that has a pulse, and I think that continues with going to the Chargers on Monday night. I'm going Chargers.
Same here. I got LA Chargers getting the win over Dallas. It might be a close game, 27-23 type of score, but still Chargers holding on, steady, and getting the win there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is for week number 6. And talking about what was week number 5. The only two teams that are on a bye week are the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Green Bay Packers.
Yep.
Two teams kind of going into their bye different ways. Steelers getting the win and taking over the division.
Mm-hmm.
And the Packers getting a loss and have a little bit of a hill to climb to try to get to Detroit.
Absolutely.
But we have a bye week. We have a lot of injuries. Hopefully we can get them healthy, be able to play against Denver and moving forward. Our schedule looks much, I would think, favorable. I don't know what to say forward to that after the bye week. But I think we'd be able to string some wins. But anyways, before we go, any last words? Share where you are. And Anything else?
I don't know, man. No Packers game this Sunday. It's gonna be weird, but I'm actually happy that they don't have one this week. They got a lot to figure out, so hopefully Matt gets them right. They're actually usually pretty good after the bye in the Matt LaFleur era, and I hope that continues. If we look at the past couple years, I mean, the odds are on our side, but we'll see. We need Aaron Jones back bad. We need to get Quay Walker healthy, DeAndre Campbell healthy. Eric Stokes will be back off the bye, which will be great for our corners. Because I'm tired of seeing Keyshawn Nixon out there, man. He's struggling. They need to put him back, and they got to get his confidence going with special teams. He looks lost out there. There's a lot to tune up. It's a good thing it's a bye week.
Yes, indeed. Well, thanks everybody that watched live that did struggle in, and those that will be watching archives, of course. As we move into the next week, we'll be back next week, same time, same channel. Hope you all have a fun weekend. I know I'll be enjoying the red zone since there is no Packer game.
Oh yeah.
We'll be back next week to go and preview our game against Denver. So take care. Above all else, as always, take care.